had an awesome rhythm and feel day for practice today. Nothing anywhere near remotely effort related, but really dialing in left side. So what I've been doing is I've been cycling right side, working the idea and concept of the right side of the hammer, and I've been then switching it. Once that feels good, I need to then go back and refine the left side of the hammer. And I'm saying the left side of the hammer as the idea of each entrance from zero to single support out to right sector. So there's 2/4 of a turn that I'm focusing on, from zero to quarter turn, and then from quarter turn to 180, or quarter turn to right sector. Uh, the the thing that I'm really focusing on is driving my right knee to the right sector. So the one thing that, of course, it will change as I become more mature in the hammer or in the event, is what I'm thinking is anticipation, and where I think the ball is necessary. I'm late. I'm simply late in that idea. Uh, it's gonna develop sooner than I think. And I even though I'm thinking no hands, I'm allowing it to travel as free as it wants, as long as the ball is free. So the problem ends up becoming, I'm underestimating how fast the ball is developing through my first two turns, uh, my first two catches, after the first two catches. So I need to then shorten. It's either shorten. We have a couple concepts that we're playing with. I need to shorten the thought process, or I need to think earlier within the thought process, because of course that's what happens. You're developing acceleration through the course of four turns, but even then it's like I got to think more in the course of the last two turns, just because I have solid rhythm, but I'm just not. It's not that I'm not clear. It's just I need to understand that things are going in a good direction, so I need to keep up with the ball. Um, so I don't think as much. And so today was a really good thought day, a good thinking day. Uh, Even though positions look really good, those like super easy 45s, I'm really happy with that. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do the least amount to get most out of it. And so that's what was a big time thing today. One other thing is that I start some of my last catches have been the best last catches ever. So I'm finally getting the idea of the final turn into the release. So, but that's only with the idea, the concept that I need my head to be on top of my left foot. It's either on top of my left foot or almost behind it. That's where I'm setting up this track for my head to counter the ball. Uh, that's not something I work on. I don't want to work on it, uh, just because I don't want to think of the last turn as the final turn. I want to continue on with the series of turns after that. I want to keep thinking fifth turn. Uh, there's a couple things that I just don't necessarily, uh, they make sense, but at the same time, it's like it's still taking away. It would take I don't want to say it would take away with it. I just wouldn't be able to put it into my ideas without it taking away from what I'm trying to build. So even with the short wire is still off of four turns, even though it's a heavier ball. It's a 20 pound ball, short wire. It's still the same concepts of practicing 4 turns. And so every single time I get better off of 4 turns thinking nothing from my 20, technically, I will then translate that into long wire, because now I understand pendulum better. I'm screwing up my entrances. I'm screwing up my swings. My timing was off. My coordination was off. So, but the thing is that I wasn't even practicing. I had a crappy track practice. I had a crappy drill practice right before this. So actually today was a surprise. The first few throws were super surprising, and I think my first. I know that my first 2-3 throws that I didn't record were my best, without a doubt, were my best. Effortless stuff. And then, but going back to what I need to work on is I need to keep working on coordination of the timing of the pendulum in the swing, with in regards to my step back to step in. Even though I'm not stepping back, it's just a step in. And for some reason, I've been hitting the concrete, so I need to focus on posture more. Working right side, even though I'm thinking a lot more of nothing, I still want to keep my right side in coordination with my within the technique that I want, and I can turn it on and turn it off whenever I want. So that's the thing that I need to come to grips with, is that I can tighten everything up. And what I mean by that is tighten up the movements, not necessarily tighten my body, in regard of going faster. But I want to practice slow. I want easy throws, especially after having a big day yesterday with my short wire. But my final catches are making much more sense. I'm getting a greater sense of the idea of the hammer in the event, and so I'm really looking for. This was a massive summer, going from the very beginning of it, of starting to film and putting together all the drill work and stuff, and then refining it, and then going over these videos, and then reflection, have been tremendous in itself. But I don't think it would have been as effective if I didn't, if I filmed all the way throughout the year. And I think that was a very important aspect of this whole year, is that I've grown so much within not filming. I don't want to film. I want them to have a good relationship with the ground. I want to have a good relationship with the earth, and then in turn with the ball, in turn with the discus or the shot or whatever. And I want them to understand what they are feeling, and they have to work through it. They have to work through what they're feeling through the ground, and then take selfishness out of the equation. This isn't going to be something as selfish as I want to throw farther, so then in turn I'm going to throw farther. No, it just depends on whether or not do we have the constitution to do what's necessary to take what we want and throw it away. Take what we want that is deemed selfish and throw it away. There's a difference between wants and needs. If I can take what I need every day and turn them into my wants, then I'll be successful. And so this whole series of whatever it may be doesn't really matter, but it's been beneficial. Even though some things weren't necessary, of course fucking things weren't necessary. And people have plans change, fucking, like, people change, or people stay the same, or people are in delusion, but I refuse to be in that delusion. I refuse to be in that narrow mindset. I'm not going to. Not about me.